This is a cancer. White evangelical Christianity is a cancer. These are the worst of our country.
What Jennifer doesn't understand here is that she is calling the thing cancer that actually built the society she's living in, that, especially as a woman, gives her the right to sit here and to speak this way. It's so ironic. In Muslim nations, women can't show their faces in public, they can't speak, they can't go to school. But yeah, Christianity is the cancer. Okay, Jennifer, you're stealing principles from Christianity to use against it. You have no moral ground to stand on without the God of the Christian Bible, without Jesus Christ. You don't get that from atheism, agnosticism, or any other religion. The idea of the Imago Dei, that every single person, no matter their size, their location, their mental capacity, what ethnic origin, doesn't change your innate value, and therefore that you have inalienable rights, which, by the way, like all of our founders knew, right? Even if they weren't Christians, which the majority of them were, they still knew that none of this was going to work without Christian principles and Christian morality, and they signed the Declaration of Independence saying your rights are given to you by a creator, not the government and not your opinion, and therefore they cannot be changed. And so this is just a classic example of stealing from God, which is an incredible apologetics book by Frank Turek. You need to go check it out. But she's just taking the principles of Christianity. A human right is a Christian principle. Read Dominion by Tom Holland. He talks about this clear point in history where something changed. And of course, it's Christianity. It's Jesus Christ and his followers, and taking that faith into the world. And everywhere we go, we end child sacrifice. We end slavery through William Wilberforce. We end all manner of atrocity because of what we believe. Christianity formed the West and Western civilization and freedom and human rights. And I don't expect her to see that. I don't, but it's the second they disagree with you, well, Christianity is now a cancer. But actually, they should be thanking Christianity for what it's given them. That's why people like Richard Dawkins says he's a cultural Christian, even though he's an atheist, because he recognizes it too. He doesn't want a society where Christianity is not the framework of the moral principles of that society. The last thing I want to say is stop being intimidated by being called a Christian nationalist, because all it really is that she doesn't want you to advocate for protection of life inside the womb or for strong borders out of a biblical framework, but she's allowed to do it for socialism. She's allowed to say, well, Jesus would have believed in universal health care, and therefore you have to as well because you say you're a Jesus follower. It's Christian nationalism for me and not for thee. Stop listening to people that their whole perspective and worldview is completely morally bankrupt, that don't even believe the Bible but try to weaponize it against you.